To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Lockhart Perspective. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Lockhart Perspective.
Well, hello. Let's get this situated right here. Well, hello, and welcome to all of you. I'm so glad that you are here. You know, I could get into a lot of different reasons as to possibly why we have the shortage that we do. I could go into all of the ideas behind the fact that in the very beginning we used the mother's breast to take care and sustain the child. I could even go biblical or old school and say, hey, you know what? In the very beginning, the Father gave us everything that we ever needed, right there in the garden. Inside of the mom is everything that the baby needs, and the garden had everything that we needed, including chairs. You know what I mean? If Adam even looked long enough, he could conceive to create a chair out of all the forestry that was there. But the one thing that I think is an issue right now, and I don't think a lot of people look at it, although as I always stroke you guys, I know that you do. But I don't think that people look at the fact that humans have been, the attempt to replace humans for every form of sustenance has been an ongoing thing. So today we're going to look at why the shortages. Why? We already know about the Hegelian dialect that says, okay, we're going to create a little problem. And then after we create the problem, what we're going to do is we are going to give you a solution, right? We're going to create a problem. We're going to give you a solution. But today we're going to look at a little bit more. We're going to look at the middleman. We're going to look at the problem. We're also going to look at the distraction, which has got a lot of people upset right now. There are a lot of people that are very angry today about what's going on, and I think they should be, if that's if that's what motivates them, if that's what moves them. All right, if that's what motivates them and moves them, then they should be upset. And I could understand why they would be. Do some little homework here, and I could understand why they would be. Right, I can understand. So let's talk about the problem. The problem and the shortages that we're looking at right now did not take anybody by storm. There are several reports that after we are published, you will see there are several reports that I'm going to put down below in the description specifically for you so that you can look at it. That'll show you how far along this thing started. Well, we've got stories all the way back. Let's just make it most recent past. So we'll go back to 2021. Let's just be generous, right? If we're generous, we'll just say 2021. I don't want to burden you with a whole lot of other stuff, but what I will tell you is that part of the problem is that we have allowed the conveniences of life to overtake us. How is that? Well, the conveniences of life says that, you know what, hey moms, you don't even need to worry about breastfeeding, because at one point in history, they literally considered breastfeeding something that the savage did. And they used to sell a lot of stuff back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and even the 1800s says this is something that low lives do. You don't need to do this. So we're going to take a look at that story first. But before we get into it, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here. I do see the chat. I won't be able to look at it right now, but before we leave here, you know I'm going to hug on your neck. Right now, I really want to get into the meat of it all. Now, also, there's something new here on Headlines with a Voice, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. Down below, while you're watching this in the replay, you can hit the heart to give to this actual channel. We have now enabled Super Hearts. It actually became available to us. I didn't know it until I was told, hey, look, this is available. And that's a good thing, because that means that if you want to give to this channel, you can definitely do it. You don't have to do it while we're in the actual show. And if you do want to give while we're in the actual show, please do not hesitate to hit the button down below that lets you give a super chat or a super sticker. All of that helps out and goes a long way. It actually helps keep this channel going, because this is the only thing that I do. And so I just want you guys to know that if you have an extra couple of coins that you want to throw, you can definitely throw them my way. And I got to admit, I'll definitely catch them. But in advance, I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that. Also, you can join us on Patreon. We got some good stuff that's going on over on Patreon. There's a couple of things that I want to do that you guys will see by the close of this weekend, dealing with the abortion. And it's a little bit deeper than what everybody is saying right now. I think everybody sort of goes over, it just goes over everybody's head. But we got some good information, and I appreciate everybody for supporting me while I do this. I want to keep everything going. I don't want to go to a regular job. I want to do this, and I want to be here for you. So having said all of that, we're going to move that to the side. But look at this. Back in the 1950s, this is a story that I want you guys to see. Back in the 1950s, as an example, there was the ability, which most moms like myself and grandmothers, our grandmoms, they used to do this. They used to use actual evaporated milk for their babies. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And I remember using it as well. But look at what they said here. Look at the phrases that they use when they're talking about, breastfeeding. This is how propaganda really, really started. All right. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, so listen, I want to look at the propagandized part. Let's just read it all. It says, in the old days, parenting was quite different. It was quite a bit different than it is now. Everything from delivery to discipline to feeding seems to have changed dramatically over the past few decades. The invention of baby formula revolutionized the way babies fed, the way that they were fed, and that they got a lot of nutrition for babies from having done it this way. Now it also states here, listen, for babies that did not have access for whatever the reason, they were able to use the breast milk. They were able to use the formula. New mothers would be sent home from the hospital with recipes for homemade formula using ingredients most parents today do not approve of. Of course, they would have to add that. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm here. You guys are here. A lot of us are here because of this particular type of way that they did this, if you were not breastfed all along. But it goes in to tell us about the evolution of formula. It says, in the days before the Industrial Revolution, it was not given that children would make it to adulthood. Many were lost in their first few years to every kind of illness and accident, which is one reason why there is so many strict guidelines around caring for children today, the article reads. For babies whose mothers died in childbirth, early formulas were given when a wet nurse was unavailable. Now, don't you know that a wet nurse goes all the way back to Moses, because Moses, of course, as you know, was put in that basket down the Nile by his mom, and ended up on the other end in Pharaoh's kingdom with his daughter that found the baby, and lo and behold, who was the wet nurse? His own mother. Okay, his own mother. But in any case, it says that it was given when they didn't have any wet nurse available to help the babies survive until they could eat solid food. The first formulas for babies were invented in the 1800s. And were often made with forms of sugars and grains and other cow's milk, or newly invented canned evaporated milk, which is what this story is really leading to. These early formulas were considered perfect foods at the time, presumed to be nutritionally complete despite the scant scientific evidence supporting them. Oh, that baby look healthy. It don't look like it has missed any meals. But listen, right here, it says, however, the use of formulas was dangerous since sterilization of babies' bottles and nipples had not yet become commonplace, and germ theory was not widely accepted until well in the 20th century, at which point bottle feeding became less dangerous. The increase of women working outside of the home, that's my point as a minister to women. Okay, this is what sticks out to me. All right, the increase of women working outside of the home in the late 1800s also meant that their milk supply was reduced since they fed their babies on a schedule instead of naturally. This led doctors to believe that milk production was becoming evolutionarily unnecessary and that perhaps the education of girls was hindering their physical development. Breastfeeding eventually became seen as something only uneducated women did. Do you see this? So, this is where it all begins. What's it all about, Alfie? Well, this is where it begins. All right? They touted it as being something that only uneducated women did. And if you want to be in the club, then you can't breastfeed. So it says, and by the middle of the 20th century, many healthcare professionals pushed formula as the natural alternative, especially after the long separation of mother and baby in the hospital. So they used to do what was called twilight sleep births, which had the mother totally drugged. They used to gas her up and she'd be high for days. And so, they touted this as, hey, if you don't want that pain, you don't want to do anything, let us alleviate this for you. We're going to give you this twilight sleep, and then we're going to give the baby the formula. That is a little bitty snippet of what I wanted to lay as the foundation to show you that there was a problem, and at that point, they went ahead and they fixed it by introducing formula. Well, now we have another problem. But the problem was created because back in 2020, there was a solution that they wanted to take hold of, and they needed to remove all formulas in order to introduce it. So let's take a look at that. We're going to take a look at that because that is the rub. Yes, it is. All right, so here we go. Let's take a glance here. I hope everybody is doing good today. It's good to see you guys. All right, now, I want to see which one. Oh, no. I'm not going to give you that yet. I'm going to go on ahead and give you this because this is what makes us angry. This is how you get angry so that you're distracted from what's really happening. So now let me give you some distraction news, okay? Here's the distraction news. I know you're upset. I know you're mad. I know you're angry about the fact that there's no baby food, but just let's top it off, shall we? The unmitigated gall. Republican Representative Kat Kamek said that pallets of baby formula are being delivered to an illegal immigrant detention center in Texas, while Americans' chances of finding formula on the supermarket shelves grow more slim each day. What are the details? Well, believe me, they're going to give it to you. They're going to make sure that you know. So here's the details. Kamek, a Florida lawmaker who was elected in 2020, indicated in a pair of Facebook videos on Wednesday that a Border Patrol agent at the Ursula facility in McAllen, Texas, sent her photos showing pallets of baby formula and other foods for infants, and that it had been delivered to the detention center. Quote, "They are sending pallets of baby formula to the border," Kamek said. Meanwhile, in our own district at home, we cannot find baby formula, closed quote. This right here is her blue check mark. This is Kat. And she says the first photo is from this morning at the Ursula Processing Center at the U.S. border, shelves and pallets stacked with baby formula. And then the second one, she says, is from a shelf right here at home. Formula is scarce. This is what America last looks like. This is what America last looks like. You see this? All of this. Now, this is baby juice. This is baby juice. This is formula. Just so that we are fair and equitable. All right? I'm going to make it a little larger. I don't want anybody to believe that what's on the top is formula, because it is not. This is not formula. That is not but this compared to this, yeah. Now, I also want to tell you that because I didn't see the video, I don't know exactly what's good. I don't know how wide the shelf is. I don't know how deep the shelf is. I don't know how tall the shelf is. But what I do know is this is made to make you very, very angry and upset that in a country that you live in, that you pay your taxes in, that this is a problem. How dare they do this to you? And this is what they want to build up in you. They want you to get angry. They want you to get mad. But I don't want you to get mad or angry. I want you to be very calm, and I want you to look at everything they're really doing. Why? Because if we get enough blood rushing into our heads where we cannot see straight, we will not be able to think. And by all means, we simply must. I want to thank someone who just blessed me. I see Veritas. Thank you so very much. I sure appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Pray without ceasing, your thumbnail says. Thank you. So listen. Look at this. Okay, so again, now imagine had somebody seen this and thought that everything on the shelf was all formula, they would have been really, really mad. But you see, I can't come to you and say, look at all the formula. Look what they're doing. I can't do that. I cannot lie to you. I cannot lie to you. In all fairness, I can see the top is the Go-Gurt, okay, because I got grandkids. All right. That's the top. That's Go-Gurt. And the bottom is that Go-Gurt. It's like Go-Go yogurt something with a little squeezed pouch. So that's not baby formula. But that second shelf in between the two, that definitely is. But again, don't let them trip you up by going off, because you don't know how wide, you don't know how deep, you don't know how tall. All right. So let's just slide that to the side. But here is where I really want to go. Okay. Here is where I really want to go. Letter A, mama. If you really do want to make your baby some milk, I'm going to tell you that you can. And let me show you why. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, here you go. Here's what you can do in that same exact story that we were just looking at a second ago. Right here. Oh, it's gone. The whole tab is gone. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, it's all right. I'm a superhero. Like my grandson said, I'm a superhero. I can get it back. All right, let me get it back for you. So let me just show you something. Here it is. This is what we used to do. And I'm going to show that to you. And they got a little recipe right there. All right. So here's the recipe right there. Y'all remember this? Your baby's formula, terminal heating method, slow cooking with slow cooling. The baby's name was David James, October 3rd, 1960. He was 8 pounds and 2 ounces. Newborn baby David. But look, prepare formula according to instructions. You use 1 can, about 13 ounces of pet milk. You would take water, and then you'd put the K-Roll syrup. And I'm going to tell you something, K-Roll syrup was the business to keep your baby going, because a lot of this stuff that they're eating today, that K-Roll syrup helps keep everything flowing. All right, and then you put the 2 tablespoons, and they would also tell you how to do this here. But you know what they do? They go from one thing to the next to get us afeared, to make us feel like we need to do it their way. But this is the way that a lot of people did. And I'm going to keep that there in hopes that if anybody needs it, of course, check with your doctor. I'm not giving anyone medical advice, but I will tell you that a lot of babies were done like this. And then what they also have are some studies that I'm going to put down below in the description for you that tells you that there is not enough iron in the mother's milk. There's not enough iron here or there, and there's not enough iron to do this or that. So they give you these supplements that you're supposed to give. The little stuff, it's like a little squeezy thing. You put it in the baby's mouth and you give them the vitamins. I'm telling y'all something without telling you something. I'm telling y'all something without telling you something. For those who got young kids, those who don't know this, those who may not have a mama or a grandmama, please take heed. I'm telling you something without telling you something. Okay. Also, I have heard that fenugreek All right, because right now I'm taking care of the family. I'm gonna go ahead on and show you this next stuff, but right now I'm doing some little homework for the family, and that's y'all. Fenugreek, I heard fenugreek helps to produce, the mammary glands to help it produce the milk. That's what I heard. Okay, fenugreek, not anything else. I know there's a lot of people talking about a lot of other stuff, but I've heard that fenugreek tea helps you. I know it helped me. But again, talk to your doctor. So I'm going to pass this piece right here. But this is what they were talking about. All right? All right? That's what they were talking about. What else were the alternatives? This was the alternative. A lot of us were born and raised like this. A lot of us use this. All right? You remember when they used to tell us not to give the babies water? Don't give them no water. Even though they're made primarily of water, don't give them no water. Well, look at this. They even have the formula. Look at that. That's a formula. But they even have how much water you're supposed to give the baby. Look at this. That's a baby eating that. Come on now. They tripping. You can't do this, can't do that. Can't do this, can't do that. Here's the special instructions. Water at least twice a day. Okay. Tea, 1 or 2 ounces a day. Vitamins at 10 days. Orange juice at 3 weeks. 1 tablespoon of orange juice to 1 tablespoonful of water. You see how contradictory they are. So you can't believe none of this stuff. You better use some wisdom. Now let me get back into the news portion of this. I had to give that because there's a lot of people out there that's really flipping out, not knowing how to do it and not knowing how to take care of the babies. That right there I just gave you is an old-fashioned tip. I don't, hey, just do your thing. Hey, Christ soldiers, good to see you and Ricardo snuck in here, as well as I think one of my sons just popped in here. I thought I saw one of my sons. Frank Nitty, did I see Frank? I thought I saw Frank. All right. So now let's get on with it. Let's get to the good part, okay? I may offend, but what are Ricardo, the mammary glands are located in those that you just put there, and they are specifically for the baby to eat. And that is why they want to replace them, because they want to be everything for man. The Elites don't care. All they want to do is be everything for man. They want to be your all in all. All right? They want to be your all in all. So here you go. Let's get into the news piece. So in 2020, there was a couple of folks that wanted to do some stuff. Let's go ahead and get it. There's 2 stories here. All right? 2 stories. First one I want to do is this one. You know what? All right, let's do it. Bill Gates-backed company now pushing biomilk as baby formula crisis worsens for Americans. However, that wasn't his first rodeo with this. His first rodeo with this was back in 2020 when both he and Mark Zuckerberg decided that they wanted to go into the business. So now you're going to create an issue where we got you, fam. Don't worry, fam. We got you. We got you, fam. You're fixed. We got you. Don't worry. We got you. Here you go. The bio milk. Bill Gates climate change investment firm bets on lab-produced breast milk. This was June the 16th, 2020. And don't you know that if it was June the 16th, 2020, that means it was a long time ago, before this date that you see? It had to be before this date that you see. All right. Now let's read this. It says, MILQ. Bio milk is targeting infant nutrition by attempting to reproduce mother's breast milk in a lab. The startup has just earned the backing of the world's top investors by raising $3.5 million in a series of A funding from Breakthrough Energy Ventures, Bill Gates' investment firm focused on climate change. The co-founders hope that breast milk produced by biomilk from culturing mammary epithelial cells will help reduce the carbon footprint from the global infant formula market. I'll let that sit there. Did you hear what he just said? Everything is about the global it's got the global, it's a global footprint. That's what he does. He always, he just gets so fidgety and so nervous, and he tries to hold back all the laughter that he has, the global, that he fidgets all over the place. I don't understand what they do with this savant, but nonetheless. So it goes on to say that the co-founders hope that the breast milk produced by BioMilk, from culturing mammary epithelial cells will help to reduce the carbon footprint from the global infant formula market. So he does that the same thing with the cows. So are we the problem? I don't know. Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods are two of the best known companies distributing the food in the food sector. Now the pipeline of alt food companies includes BioMilk, a North Carolina-based startup that's targeting infant nutrition by attempting to reproduce mother's breast milk in a lab. And I'm going to look into North Carolina. I'm putting that down here because the last thing I saw that they were testing was that lady that we did the story on that was doing the death thing where they put the bodies in the thing and make it into compost. She was doing testing. She's got her place over there in Washington. She was doing testing out in North Carolina. What's out in North Carolina that I'm not aware of? I know you guys are probably smart and you can tell me in the chat. Somebody tell me, why is North Carolina always coming up? Anyway, that includes a North Carolina-based startup that's targeting infant nutrition by attempting to reproduce mother's milk in the lab. While that may seem like a moonshot, BioMilk has just earned the backing of the world's top investors, raising the $3.5 million in a series of funding from Breakthrough Energy Ventures, Bill Gates' investment firm focused on climate change. Breakthrough Ventures Investing Coalition includes Jeff Bezos. I'm going to let that sit there. Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Masayoshi Son, Jack Ma, Michael Bloomberg, and Mark Benioff. BioMilk co-founder and CEO Michael Egger, a food scientist who worked on the Lockhart bar at General Mills before moving on to business school and a stint at the Gates Foundation. She and her co-founder, CSO Leela Strickland, hope that the breast milk produced by BioMilk from culturing mammary epithelial cells, where are those cells coming from? That's what I would like to know. Where are they getting those cells from? Where are they getting those cells from? It's a good question. Okay. They hope that the breast milk that's being produced from the culturing mammary epithelial cells will help to reduce the carbon footprint from the global infant formula market, which Fortune Business Insight says will surpass $103 billion in 2026. The top infant formula manufacturers include Abbott Labs, Dan One, and Nestle. Abbott has had recalls, as we know. Day One, I didn't see. But Nestle started not only the baby formula, but they also have what they consider a vegan alternative, which you can do yourself. Okay, real talk, you can do that yourself. They're using potatoes, and that's just going to make the blood sugar spike in an infant. I don't know. Maybe you can consider almond milk or rice milk. Maybe you can consider coconut. Maybe we could all just consider taking all of our authority that Yah gave us in the garden back. All right. And let me stop because I'm getting into my sermon for Sunday. So I'm going to get off of that right now. But I just want to tell you, your authority is what they're after. So now they're vying to feed your baby when you, mama, you're walking around with mammary glands. And if you're just had a baby, you're gestating. You during gestation, you were forming all that you needed. So you're lactating. So you got what you need, but you're allowing somebody to make you think that you need to get out there and get and hustle and get in the workforce Okay, either A, because you decided to have a baby without a husband, or you got a husband that you don't want to listen to because you went to school and you got your degree and you want to keep doing your thing. So let me back on up out of that and come on back over here. But nonetheless, this is $103 billion. The top infant formula manufacturers are as follows. You already saw those. And right now, by the estimations, we have been given, okay, we've been able to make at least 10% of the dairy market globally ends up in infant formula. That means that per infant fed formula in the United States, it's 5,700 metric tons of CO2 that are produced. They always want to give us these stories. They always want to give us that how it's going to affect all the stuff that's going on, how it's going to affect the climate, how it's going to affect this or that. No, here's what it is. You guys are easing in all that you want to do. You're easing it in, all that you want to do. And all of us are suffering because we decide we wanted to be a part of Babylon. And this is exactly why we see what we see, because we've given them license to give us everything and be us all sustainer for society based on convenience. Okay, and that's why they're able to slip this in. But the first thing is you got the problem of the milk shortage. The second thing is the distraction, because somebody's going to let you believe that all of that milk that you just saw, or all that you saw in that picture, was literally for them. And I'm not saying it's not. Okay, I don't agree with the whole border issue at all. So I'm not saying that it isn't. But what I'm saying is it's a bigger picture. And they're going to use, all right, they're going to use you to push this thing. Do you see the problem? Help us, help us. Give us something else. Give us a replacement, because we just don't have any clue what to do. We can't fix any of this. Help us. Right? Yeah, that's what they're doing. So now the solution is Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all of Schwab's buddies to the rescue. Mr. Virgin himself, Branson. Mr. Branson's involved in that too. All right? Yeah, he is. So they're pushing it all to say that you're going to save, you have this much of CO2 produced carbons. And do you know how many Americans don't even know anything about that? They are making it to where every time they have something to include this baby formula shortage. So why the shortages? So that they can introduce his stuff. That's why. So they can introduce everything that, first of all, the globalists create the issue, and then they come out with a way to make more money off of the issue that they created. So that's why. All right? That's the reason why. Not only that, but when you consider that when you get a benefit from breastfeeding your baby, there's the bonding aspect. Your child's not just going to wander off. If you've ever noticed a child who is breastfed, they're a lot closer to mama, and they will look at you from the side. They will hold on to mama and look at you and wonder. You'd be like, hi, little baby. And they'd be looking at you all crazy like you are a monkey doing a math problem. And the purpose for that is because there is a mechanism in that teaches them that this is mama. You stay connected because of the bond. Okay? Because of the bond. So that's the first thing. Second thing, most importantly, above all of that is, hey, we got you where we want you. Because years ago, we told you that you were going to be considered trash, considered a lowlife, considered nothing, if you decided to breastfeed. And so we went on and on and on. And all they got to do is tell a lie enough times, tell a lie enough times. You begin to believe that something that comes out of your body for the sustenance of your child, to help them get good antibodies in their body, to help them get their cognitive and all these other things set up correct, you'll begin to believe that lie. Why? Because when we are told that something is for our convenience or it's better for us, for whatever the reason, man grabs a hold of that and runs with it. And that's exactly what's going on now. Women, we've grabbed a hold of it, and now we're going to have Bill Gates, David Branson, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and a plethora of other could-be aliens feeding our children. There you go. There they are. Breakthrough Ventures Investing Coalition. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Masayoshi Son, Jack Ma. I don't know who those two are, but that doesn't mean anything. Usually when they're names that I haven't heard of and then I look them up, they are unbelievably wealthy. Michael Bloomberg and Mark Benioff. All of these folks. This is what they're here to do. This is what they're here to do. Impossible Foods CEO on the meat shortages are driving demand for plant-based products. Do you know that this story was written back on June the 16th? We said that at the top of this piece. June 16th, 2020. All right? And we're buying it lock, stock, and barrel because they're telling us to. They're telling us that we need it. And it's a good thing that they're telling us because, well, what could we do without them? What will we do without them? We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know what to do. Here it is, June 20, 2020. Same people. Artificial breast milk cultured from human mammary. Thank you very much. They told us the answer, that it was human mammary. And there is a TED Talk video that's going to be down below. I'm going to leave this for you guys. Here, let me show you what this is. All right? It was a TED Talk video. Anytime they try to convince you of something, they got to do it that way. They got to give you a TED Talk video. Because if TED Talk, oh, they were at a TED Talk. That's impressive. Well, you got to believe them then. I mean, hey, well, what's going on? What's going on? You don't believe them? They did a TED Talk about it. I mean, hey. So here it is again. News, a new and better breast milk alternative has arrived. And it claims to be helpful for the environment as well. The U.S. firm Bio Milk is artificially producing human breast milk from cultured human mammary epithelial cells to be commercially available to consumers. The startup company has received, of course, we already read that, yada, yada, yik, yak, yik, yak. We already read that. We already saw that. Okay. A greener infant milk alternative. Healthier milk choice for infants. More options for parents and caregivers of infants. See all that? All of it. All right? Stigma on, she has that while some women struggle with low milk production, the stigma of breastfeeding in public is incompatible with workplaces or family formulas. Families using formula out of necessity. The option left for providing nourishment for babies are suboptimal. Listen, don't get your head wrapped up in all this stuff because I got some stuff I'm about to show you. I'm not on this publication right here, but the next one that's going to show you why they're trying to make all of this stuff go off. Listen, young mothers, go out here and take care of your kids the right way. For once, please be obedient and listen to some elders. Go get a grandmama, all right? Because you here, go get you somebody's grandmama if you don't have one, and you need to talk to somebody else so that they can help you do this thing right. I'm gonna give it to you in a nutshell before I close. The reason why we're able to easily have this as an issue is because of the disobedience that we have embedded in us as people. We do not want to do things the Father's way. And the reason why they're able to easily attack, remember what we did with Maslow's hierarchy of needs yesterday. The reason why they are able to easily attack the needs that we have is because we've given them the authority to do it. We have given them the authority to affect us in this manner on such a large scale. Now, one would argue, well, hey, people have to go to work. There's lots of different issues. And all of that is true. All of that is true. Not arguing it there at all. But what I am saying is that there has been enough of this stuff going on for us to have it started to think. Mothers, young mamas, go find yourself somebody, grandmama, if you don't have one, honey, and help feed your baby. Because if you continue to listen to this stuff, they will make you think that you can't feed your child. They will make you think that there is just nothing else that people were doing in lieu of having breast milk once upon a time besides the stuff that we formulated and put all kinds of stuff in. And if you're concerned about, the baby not feeling good or being gassy or being fussy, go get them some baby licorice. Go get them some licorice. It's actual natural licorice. Take a couple of, maybe like one little teeny drop. Talk to your doctor. I ain't no doctor. But I'm going to tell you something. Licorice root. That helps with gas. That helps with fussiness. You don't even have to put it in their food. You can rub it on their belly, and it'll help alleviate it. And maybe if you stop listening to them, not giving your baby no water, you wouldn't have to worry about baby constipation, keeping you up all night and harming that poor little baby, making them cry. Take you a half a teaspoon of some of that K-Roll syrup and put it in that baby's bottle. Give them some water and K-Roll syrup. Give your babies water. They're only lining themselves up to have a career, a group of career patients. You don't give a person water, you give people water. The baby is water. You're made of water. Give them water. Let me get off of this. Okay, babies do need a lot of calories, Belinda. That's absolutely right. And again, we're not giving out any advice here. I'm just telling you, hey, think outside the box. Consult your physician. Consult your physician. Because I'm not a doctor. All right. But get yourself a grandmama somewhere that can help you. Get back to raising your children. In a minute, all those degrees, especially black women that we running around here with, all right? See, I got all my stuff, but I got kids and grandkids, and I'm submitted to one man. So all of those degrees that we all ran out here and grabbed and got, especially the younger generation, you're going to find that it is not going to do you any good when everybody is now equal and ain't nobody got no food. You need to learn how to take care of yourself. But the purpose and the reason for that is so that they can introduce Mr. Gates and introduce all of the people that are working with him to bring upon this new formula that he has. And I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah, so that's why. That's why. The bond, they're going to get rid of. They don't want you to have no bond with no baby. Don't put no baby on your breast because you're low life and there is no place for you to do this in public. All right. So before we go, I want to read a couple of hellos. I know some people have to go, and so I know I'm probably going to see a drop off in numbers, or I may get a bigger amount of numbers. Again, before we go, if you would like to give a super chat, you can give a super chat right now. And if you'd like to do it after we leave, you can definitely do it on the replay by hitting the super heart. While we're here, please make sure that you hit the like button for us because it gets it out into the algorithm and lets them know, hey, there's something going on over here, and maybe you just might want to tune in. So thank you for that. Thank you in advance for your giving, and thank you in advance for sharing this out. I want to say, hey, there's some people that I can say hey to before we leave. For everybody else who doesn't want to hang out while I say hey and hug next, please don't leave before I hug yours. All right. All right. So we've got Zeb Johnson. Hello. We've got Betty R. We've got Ricardo. All right. Tilly L. Hi. We got Sarah Brown. How are you, beautiful? When your baby nurses, their saliva is taken into your mammary gland and your body analyzes this to produce exactly what the baby needs. This cannot be produced by Billy Goats. Hallelujah. Okay? Hallelujah. All right? There you go. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And this is why they don't want us all of us women getting together. Michael A., thank you, sweetheart. Show needed and a show appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, love. But that's the reason why they don't want us giving information, because the information is power. If I know something and I hold it, but I get scared and don't say anything, nobody else is going to know it. But see, if they let us mamas go and if us mamas just get together, we can take care of these young ladies. We can get these young ladies from running away from their husbands. We can stop them from doing all of that stupid stuff, listening to the world. We can stop all that. But he cheated. Okay, great. Look here. You want to know something, dear? A lot of people say, well, how did Grandmama and them stay together for 75 years? You don't think your granddaddy cheated? Grandmama has some sense. She knew how to sit her rump there and take care of them kids. That's what she knew how to do. Long as he ain't going upside your head, all right? Long as he ain't having you living outside up under a bridge. What you don't know, go ahead on, handle your business, raise your kids, and stay in that house and take care of your family. Deal with the other stuff on the back end. But if you break it all up right now and go out there, I'm going to be independent, I'm going to show him. Then you go get another cat, drag him around your old children. You got another cat. He don't even care about your kids. They're not his kids. It's not saying that he can't love them, but they're not his responsibility. And when he cheat on you, then what you going to do? You're going to look back at what you should have sat down for and listen to that man apologize and keep it pushing. Again, let me back it on up. But there's a lot of young women that are jacking their families apart. They're jacking them up because they're being sold this independent thing. Now you're driving around for hours looking for baby milk when you got them in a set of double D's. Oh, she said it. You can set them up there with a set of double D's and you got all the milk that they need and you listen to everybody else. Sit your rump down. Be humble. Okay? All right. Old school, I know, but hey, it's who I am. All right, so Romaine, hello. Is that Romaine? Hello. And then we have Belinda. We have the Warrior Adam. Hey, and Lisa R. How have you been? Good to see you. All righty. All right. She was my first. Okay. Zeb Johnson, we said hey to you. And then Drops Family Garden. Hello. Leslie Barnes. Hello. Okay? Leslie, honey, they don't know. These young women, the man go out and make one mistake and we ready to crucify the polecat. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah, you may not want him going out there doing that, but then you better sit down and start thinking, if I let my family become destroyed because of this thing here, then what's going to happen? The men are already being beat up. They're already getting beat up. Poor fella, he can't even open a door for somebody without the woman going, why are you opening the door for me? Who are you? I'm not weak. Girl, sit down somewhere. Hey, there's my son. Hey, Frank. Okay. Aaron James say, love that child. Betty R. Vape King Curry used to be something most houses had. Okay. Cheryl, Kentucky girl. Hey. No, they don't. No, they don't. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Vape King is right. You guys see what he said right there? No, they don't. But the ones that do, that end up recovering, and the women who leave them end up being the women that we're taking care of and having all kinds of issues with. Because in our community, that's the first thing somebody will tell them, well, run, leave. Well, you did that, but now you are taking care of your child. You're taking care of the household. You're taking care of everything. Instead, and like I said, if he's not beating you upside the head, if he's not hurting you, if he's not doing any of those things, you know what I'm saying? Then you need to sit down, have some counseling, and have a cooler head to come in, sit in, and prevail, is what I'm saying. I would much rather see the family together and look in the rear view mirror and see that somebody cheated, whether it be the male or the female, in the past, but that they are working together to keep their family together and to talk through the problems. Because here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand, when you take a covenant with somebody, it is for good and for worse. It's for bad or for worse. It is. That is what it is. It is what it is. All right? It is what it is. You're dealing with a human being, and that human being has errors and faults. They do. All right? It's just what it is. What I'm saying is, wouldn't it be better to sit down, talk it out, get a mediator, and work this thing out and keep your kids together? Huh? Instead of taking your independent woman mind, and I'm a woman, so I can't deal from the man's aspect. I can only go from the women's side because that's all I minister to. That's all I teach, and that's all I talk to. All right? Is women. I'm not called to teach men. I'm not a man. But what I will tell you is this. I would much rather see you take care of your family with the father of your children than to see you out here struggling, trying to work 2 and 3 jobs while you have one child in daycare, and that's costing you a lot. Another couple of kids over in a girl or boys club afterwards with only God knows what's going on with them there. And then you having the mental frazzling of trying to put it all together. And then to top it all off, you see your former husband, who felt terrible, by the way, that he did what he did and he shouldn't have done it, over here with somebody else and another chick, reaping the benefits of having peace, no bags up under her eyes, being taken care of like a queen because he learned from the mistake he made with you. So I would much rather see that than to allow you to think that being an independent woman is what you need. It is a trap. It is a trap. That's what that is. It is a trap. And if you don't believe it, go on out there and see what is waiting. It's better for us to get together, to work together, to understand that people are people. You're going to have bad problems, but it's a trap. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, that's it. I'm off of that. Anyway, you guys, I got to go. I got to go. I don't want to keep going because I don't want anybody to be, No, you can't. You can't talk through an emotionally abusive narcissistic pain in the butt. Emotional damage is just as bad and as worse as physical abuse. Absolutely. You see that? Absolutely. That is absolutely right. You can't. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you can't take it. Okay? Okay? But you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying to sit there, hey, you know what you can take and what you can't take. If you can't take, then roll out. All right, y'all. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I so appreciate you all for being here. I will be editing this part of this video out. The end portion had nothing to do with this topic. I don't know why we went there, but apparently somebody needed to hear it. We'll edit that out and it'll be reposted later. All right. So for everybody who was here with us on this, really? Well, I'm glad to hear it, Belinda. I'm glad to hear it, sis. I'm glad to hear it. Maybe it'll help somebody else, but nobody signed up for this part of the show. So I'm going to go on ahead and edit that if you guys think I should. You think I should leave it or you think I should edit? Because if I edit it, I will definitely cut it off and just leave it to be in the first part. What do you guys think? Edit it, cut it off, or post this as it is? Post it as it is. Men aren't that valuable if they can treat you like Jesus. Leave it. His heart, I love it. You are too cute. Okay? Okay, so keep it there. Leave it. It's pure truth. Okay? It's so easy to spot unbelievers. Christ soldier. There was another Greek. Okay, then I'll keep it, you guys. Leave it as it is. Leave it. Okay, we're going to leave it. All right, you guys. So listen, I want you all to remember one thing that we always say here with any Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You guys continue to take care of yourselves first, all right? Above all, and then I want you to take care of everybody else around you, okay? And until we see one another again, please continue to be blessed.
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.